Thinking of moving to the Salt Lake Valley and wondering if Draper is the perfect suburb or just another high-priced trap? Today we're covering the 5 pros and 5 cons of living in Draper, Utah. Stay tuned to the end because my final con might just surprise you. Hey guys, I'm Scott Walters, Best USA Realty, your Utah YouTubing realtor, talking all things what it's like to live, sleep, eat, work, and play in Utah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tap on the notification bell so you can stay current every time I drop another video about living in Utah. Hey, remember, I can only live in one place. I can't live in every single community. I do not live in Draper, so if you are a local, make a comment down below of your top 5 pros and cons, and let's just all share the wealth of knowledge about Draper. But being a Utah native, I've been to Draper many times. Okay, let me just share a few quick facts about Draper. The population, it's a little over 50,000. The median age in Draper, 33.7 years. The median household income, 130,000. Remember, that's the combined income of everybody in the household. The crime rate, this is your chance of being a victim of a crime in 1,000, is 21.33 per 1,000. Parks and trails, over 42 parks, 117 miles of scenic trails, and 5,000 plus acres of open space. Now, when it comes to shopping here in Draper, there's just a lot. It's on the south end of Salt Lake Valley, so there's a lot of options. Right now, I'm here at Furniture Row, sitting right in front of IKEA, and you've got RC Willie and Lazy Boy and Denver Mattress and just all kinds of at least furniture shopping right here. But just up the road a little bit, you've got a couple of the other shopping centers and lots of entertainment in this area as well. The median home value, however, it's pretty high. It's up there, probably over 800,000. It's going to be real hard to find affordable housing for first-time home buyers and probably younger buyers. Lots of homes listed well over $1 million in the Draper area. All right, I'm gonna go with my pro number 1, and that's just jobs. Draper is ideally located to get access to fantastic jobs. You're just minutes to downtown Salt Lake City, but also basically the Lehigh Draper area, I'm gonna call that the Silicon Slopes. I know oftentimes people refer more to the Lehigh area, Silicon Slopes, but that whole point of the mountain area, there's a lot of high-tech jobs in that particular corridor. So I think Draper is just absolutely ideal for access to great jobs and opportunities that way. So the commute to these jobs is great for local residents. You're just going to be a few minutes over the point of the mountain if you're working in Lehigh. And of course, if you're working at some of the tech jobs in Draper, well, again, you're just a couple minutes that way. I'm going to say during non-peak traffic hours, you're probably about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, down into the Salt Lake or into the downtown Salt Lake area and the jobs that way. All right, guys, real quick, I am at Draper City Park, right by the Tree of Life. In wintertime here during Christmas season, they light that tree up behind me. It looks like a light bulb. It's really cool. But hey, if you're thinking of selling, I've got a free seller's guide. There's a link to it in the description down below. Go grab it. All right, let's hit it right away with con number 1. That's cost of living. Really, the cost of living is a little more unaffordable here in Draper compared to other areas, particularly driven by the high cost of housing. When you've got a lot of your listing inventory, 800,000, 900,000, $1 million plus, that prices out a lot of people. That prices out people that make the average median income, and so it just makes it more unaffordable for a lot of people. It's going to be really difficult for the first-time home buyers, a lot of the younger buyers, to be able to afford anything in Draper. You're going to have a harder time finding those $400,000 properties in Draper. I'm not saying you can't do it, it's just going to be a little bit harder to do that. Just looking up some stats on Google, I found the cost of living index is 147 for Draper, and the US average is 100. So you can see the cost of living just a little bit higher here in Draper. Draper is also considered a great place for schools. Their main high school is Corner Canyon High School. They also have Juan Diego. That's a private high school. You also have American Preparatory Academy. When it comes to Corner Canyon and all the other public schools, they are highly rated. Corner Canyon has become an absolute powerhouse with their sports programs here on the south end of Salt Lake Valley. The football team seems to be competing for state championships every year, but they have great academic programs as well. So just overall, a very good scene for education, public education here in Draper. All right, back when I was a kid, Draper felt like kind of a small rural suburb of Salt Lake City. It felt like there was quite a bit of space between it and its neighbors. Over the years, it has really grown and transformed into a big suburban city. So with that, there's just still a lot of growth. In fact, just across about a mile or so south of where I'm at right now, they're getting ready to redevelop the whole state prison area into a huge complex, and of course that's all right close to Draper. So with all that construction going on nearby Draper and in Draper, it just really increases congestion everywhere. You're gonna have a lot more traffic than you used to have. It also can make, commute times higher, especially during those peak times. There's just so many more people down here than there used to be. So again, rush hour traffic in the morning, evening going to be a little bit tougher, just a lot more people on the road. And of course, all this development kind of decreases that quiet suburb feel that Draper had. I think there's still plenty of spots that have that quiet suburb feel, especially when you get up in the foothills. If you get up towards Suncrest or up on top there, it definitely feels more quiet and rural feeling still. But much of that is being lost by all the development going on. All right, let's talk pro number 3. That's got to be the outdoor lifestyle. I know that applies to pretty much every city along the Wasatch Front, because the access to the outdoor lifestyle is unparalleled. Here in Draper, there's a lot of parts of the city that are right up against the foothills, and there's lots of bike trails and hiking trails, mountain trails. And then of course, you're just minutes to Big Cottonwood Canyon, Little Cottonwood Canyon. You've got access to all the ski resorts up in that area. You've got Solitude and Brighton and Alta, and just all those great ski resorts, literally minute from the Draper area. Of course, you've got great access heading down. If you want to head down into Utah County, you get up American Fork Canyon, which drops over into Sundance. And that ski resort super close to Utah Lake for recreation there. You're also not that far away if you want to head on up to Park City for the outdoor lifestyle in that area, and the reservoirs in that area like Jordanelle and Deer Creek. And of course, access a little further up past Heber would be the Strawberry Reservoir. So when it comes to the outdoor lifestyle, Draper is fantastic. Being on the south end of Salt Lake Valley, it's also closer to the mighty Big 5 national parks here in Utah. You're probably 4 hours down to Zion, maybe 3.5 down to Bryce, also 3.5 or so down to the Moab area with Arches and Canyonlands National Park. So the access that way is really fantastic. If you want to go a little out of state, you're really not that many hours away up to like Yellowstone National Park or the Grand Teton National Park. So it's really a great base if you like that type of outdoor activity, getting off and checking out the national parks. Really great base. So besides those activities that are a little bit further out, Draper offers, like I mentioned this earlier, offers 42 parks, 117 miles of trails, over 5,000 acres of open space. Now, I got to say, my favorite park here in Draper is the Orson Smith Park and its trail to the Bear Canyon suspension bridge. Really a cool hike, great view, got a cool bridge, great views overlooking the Salt Lake Valley. For those sellers in this area wanting maximize top dollar when they sell their home, I've got a free seller's guide. There's a link to it in the description down below. Okay, let's talk con number 3, and that's winter. Utah is a winter state, at least northern Utah is. It gets a lot of snow. Draper is no exception. Now, right now we're end of November. We don't have any snow down here in the valley. That's getting pretty typical where we don't have snow down here. But the resorts in the mountains here in the Wasatch Front Mountains, they definitely have snow in them. But we could have a snowstorm next week that brings 2 feet of snow. So my recommendation is just be prepared for that. Of course, you're going to want to have a great shovel for moving snow. I definitely recommend having a snow blower, and even better yet, an ATV with a snowplow blade. That's how I move all the snow around my house. Particularly up along those benches. You get up into Suncrest and all those other bench areas in Draper, you're a little bit higher than the valley floor. You're going to get more snow in a lot of parts of Draper. Right here where I'm kind of more down in the valley here in the shopping part of Draper, you're not going to see as much snow in this area. It's probably going to melt off during the daytime. You might have a snowstorm at night, brings in snow, but by daytime, a lot of that snow is going to melt away and not stick around all winter long. But up against the foothills and the bench areas, you'll probably have snow all winter long once we have a big winter storm. Okay, my pro number 4 is just Draper is a lower crime area. It's considered a safer area, a safe town. The stats that I looked up said the crime rate is 39.9% below the national average. And when it comes to having a chance of being a victim to a violent crime, it's 2 per 1,000. So you can see your chances of experiencing violent crime here in Draper really low. It's considered a safe, family-friendly, low-crime area. So if you're looking for that in a community, Draper is a fantastic option here in the Salt Lake Valley. Hey, if you'd like to see any of these current listings available here in Draper, go click on the description or the link on the description down below. and I can set you up on a home search that sends you homes the moment they hit the market. And if you're a buyer, you want to make sure that you don't lose money when you're buying. I got a free buyer's guide. There's a link to it in the description down below. Go grab your free buyer's guide. Con number 4 is related to the winters, and that is the air quality in the winters. Utah experiences inversions. And again, this applies for pretty much every city along the Wasatch Front and even up into Logan and Cache Valley. The high pressures trap all the smog and the pollution down in the valleys. And so for certain times of the year, and maybe lasting for a week or two, we can have very poor air quality with all that gunk just trapped down in the bottom here. It doesn't last forever. Generally speaking, we have a big storm comes in and it knocks all that out and blows it out, and we can get back to having some nice clear days. But just expect in the wintertime in particular, there's going to be a lot more days where there's a lot of haze sitting down over the valley, and especially it can get especially bad the inversions sometimes where you just can't even see the mountains. Okay, finally, let's talk entertainment. This is my pro number 5. You got a lot of entertainment and shopping available here in Draper itself, as well as the surrounding areas. Of course, I mean, keep in mind, you're just minutes up to Salt Lake. If you wanted to go up there and check out a Utah Jazz game or a Mammoth hockey game, you've got the RSL soccer team that's just up the road a couple miles there in Sandy. So, you know, you got the new ball field out in the Daybreak area. So, I mean, you're really close to a lot of like professional activities, super close to the University of Utah. If you're a University of Utah sports fan, you want to go up that way to check out that kind of entertainment. And then again, if you're a BYU Cougar, you're just a couple minutes down the road to Brigham Young University, where you can enjoy that type of entertainment, you know, all the different sporting activities offered there at either one of those universities. So, but when it comes to like entertainment and shopping, let me just list off some of these. Of course, again, I'm right here at Furniture Row, where you've got all these furniture stores all close by. You've also got the Draper Crossing and Draper Peaks area, lots of shopping in that area. That's just the next exit to the north of me here. So you got those two shopping centers right across the street from each other, lots of opportunities there. You have the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium just up the road a little bit. You've got Boondocks for mini golf. You got Airborne Draper Trampoline Park. You've got All-Star Bowling and Entertainment, Cowabunga Bay Water Park. Yeah, those are really close to that Draper Peaks and Draper Crossing shopping area. So when it comes to the entertainment, kind of the city life, urban entertainment opportunities, Draper is really an excellent option. Okay, so here's my final con. This one might surprise you, it might not surprise you, but particularly, and this also has to do somewhat with the environmental concerns of the area. One is summertime. Again, we have air quality issues when we have summer wildfire season. Even if the wildfires aren't right here in Utah, the smoke can be blowing in here from out of state. That happens pretty much every summer now. But with Draper and a lot of Draper being up against the hillsides, the fire risk is a lot bigger that way. All of Draper can deal with poor air quality in the summertime with that summer smoke from wildfires. But hey, I'm right here at Draper City Park, right in front of the Tree of Life. During the Christmas season, they light that up. It looks like a giant light bulb. So beautiful. Hey, know your home's value. I can do a free, no obligation, no hassle home evaluation on your property right here in Draper. There's a link in the description down below. Hey again, guys, this is Scott Walters, Best USA Realty, your Utah YouTubing Realtor, talking all things what it's like to live, sleep, eat, work, and play in Utah. If you found this video helpful, go check out my Salt Lake City pros and cons. Maybe the big city is more to your liking. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap on the notification bell so you can stay current every time I drop another video about living in Utah. And with that, we'll see you on the next video.